joining me. My name is Tina Kavrgich, and if you can't remember that, that's totally okay. Just remember Northern Stamper. If you need to reach me, my email is northernstamper@gmail.com. I am a Canadian independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, but don't worry if there are items here that you like and you don't live in Canada, you can let me know. I do have connections to some wonderful demonstrators in the States that I can pass your information along to. If you do live in Canada and there's something that you see that you like, please let me know, northernstamper@gmail.com, or comment below. I'd be happy to help you out. What an exciting day. Did you see my post yesterday? I had to post it late yesterday. It was about this great new um, little Stampin' Spots that we have. They are smells. So this one, if you order it, it smells like pecan pie. But you know what? It's only available for April the 1st. It's only available for that time, just to let you know. Anyways, thank you for joining me. Today is all about the Heirlooms kit. If you have not purchased this Heirlooms kit, I'm telling you, the kits that Stampin' Up! Has been coming out with have been like, they are phenomenal. They are absolutely phenomenal. And they've just announced 3 new kits that came out. I'm going to be talking about them, but in particular, the Heirloom Arrangement Kit. I absolutely love this. This is a little different from the other ones. There, you can actually, if you follow the instructions, you create one card based on their design. So there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 cards that they ended up designing. What I did is I took their designs and I've kind of modified them. And that's what we're going to be doing today. So I wanted to just touch base about that Heirlooms kit. It is not too late. If you order the Heirlooms kit with me, I will give you access to some very private videos that will be creating alternatives with this. So you'll get a total of 16 cards and actually more than that using this kit. So just to let you know. We're going to be opening that in a minute. So as I said, any questions, you can pop them below. My good friend Liz is our moderator for this Facebook Live. Thank you, Liz, for joining us. Okay, so it is been announced that the annual catalog is leaving at the end of the month. Very sad, as is the mini catalog. I had so many great things from the annual catalog and from the mini catalog. I loved so many things in here. They have just updated the last chance list, so that means this is the last chance for you to get it. Some items are going on sale. You know, just take a look at the last chance. If you need to know where to find it, northernstamper@gmail.com, and I will help you navigate that. So don't forget the last chance. New catalog is coming out in 1 month, and it's this one here. Oops, look at it. It's lovely. Oh, we're out of focus. There we go. And I have already started mailing out those catalogs to those that have purchased with me in the last 6 months. If you purchase with me in the last 6 months, you automatically will get this catalog, so don't worry. Last chance. Okay, so I talked about the new kits. There are 3 new kits that they just came out with in Stampin' Up. Oh, these are great. Okay, so there are 3. One is called The Loveliest Wishes, and it is a no stamp, and it's about, I believe it's $20. So you just need glue and put it together. So Loveliest Wishes, no stamping. There is one, it's a 3D project. How cool is that? It is paper bouquet, and it is exactly what it sounds like. It's a bouquet of paper flowers, and I'm going to be making that for my mom. And maybe actually I'm going to buy a whole bunch and bring it to her retirement home for a bunch of people. There is another one called Essential Occasions, and again, that is a no stamping kit that is coming out. These, I'm very excited for those because, one, they are a decent price, under $20 or less, so fantastic, with the exception of the paper bouquet. That one is probably a little bit more. But the ones that are no stamping are very inexpensive, and we can do a ton of them, as I'm going to show you this month with the Heirloom arrangements. Maybe there's some, let's take a look at them and see what we can do for alternatives. I'm very excited. Don't forget, if you are, did you attend the weekend with me in our St. Thomas? It was an absolute ball. We had so much fun. So much fun, in fact, that I'm going to do an online. So if you are anywhere in North America or even beyond that, you can purchase the access for the PDFs and videos on April the 26th. It's going to be an online retreat, and I'm going to be showcasing not all of the projects, but some of the projects from that retreat that we had on the weekend. They are fabulous. So I'm going to be doing about 8 or 9 of those presentations, and you don't want to miss that. If you would like to participate, drop me an email, northernstamper@gmail.com, or comment below. Let's look forward a little bit further. So we talked about the online retreat on April the 26th. In April, because it's my birthday month, yay! I'm going to have ordering specials throughout the month of April. And so you're going to want to follow along and see what those are. So there are going to be some very good ordering specials coming just from Northern Stampers, so just from me. So you want to watch that. If you live close by, come and join me May the 4th for an in-house play date, and we're going to be using all items for the new annual catalog. From the new annual catalog, they have some pretty papers. Who does not like pretty papers? I love pretty papers. So much so, I'm doing a DSP share. Now, there are 2 prices. There's one for $50. So if you live close by and you can pick it up, it is $50. If I have to mail it to you, because Canada Post is a little bit more pricey on the tracking, it is $70, but it can go anywhere in Canada. DSP share, comment below, or Northern Stamper if you would like some more information. Let's look a little bit further. May, I have an online technique day. I'm going to be presenting a variety of techniques. I think it was 8 of them throughout the day. So we're going to start early in the morning, and I'm going to show you techniques all through the day. That's an online technique day. Again, if you live in North America, you can purchase the videos on PDFs only, or in Canada, there's another level. You can purchase, if you want, all of the supplies that go with it. Let's look down the line, really down the line. I'm thinking of doing a crop or getaway in September. Let me know if you would like to participate. It was so much fun. I need to do it again. So I got one coming in May. Sorry, one in September and maybe one in March or April of 2026. All right, let's get started. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you are ready to work with the Heirlooms arrangement kit. I'm very excited. Okay, give me a thumbs up if you're ready, and give me a heart if you have the Heirlooms arrangement, whether you purchased it by yourself or with me. So what we're going to do is we need our Heirlooms arrangement kit. You do need some basic white. You need some basic white cardstock, and you need some pecan pie cardstock for the base. We're going to be using these colors throughout the whole month and into the private classes. So make sure that you have those available. Now I have 2 here, and one of these is for the inside. You'll see it fits exactly on the inside. Ooh, there we go. Okay, very excited. Let's take a look first of all, what is inside our kit. Okay, we're going to open this up. Oop. Don't lose any of the little pieces. Actually, even if you hold on, I think the only thing I ever throw away from anything from Stampin' Up! Is the plastic wrapping. Everything else I keep. I don't know about you. I find everything useful. So let's take a look what's inside. So I even keep these boards for to do work with. My goodness, everything is useful. All right. Inside, oops, oh my goodness, there's so much. Inside is the instructions. So you see the pictures on the one side, and when you open it up, there are instructions for each card. Now you could follow those along. They are fantastic. They're easy to follow. You know, it's like IKEA. There's the items and you put it together. Very well done. I got to say they're very well done on how they've done this. Okay. On the back, we can see all of the items that we have. So I'm just going to set that aside because I don't need that. I'm not using it. What they've started doing is placing in these pieces that coordinate with the stamp set that comes with this. And where is the stamp set? Where is the stamp set? There we go. So there's the stamp set, and what you do is, if you need to, you can put it in, say you're putting it in a like a little envelope, like a clear envelope. Let's get one of these. Say you're placing it in a clear envelope. You can now put this piece of paper inside. It works really well, and I put them up so I can always see what I have. Another idea of, I know people have placed them in little 4x6, those photo books. You get them at the, I think, Value Village now. You can just pop these in there. Works great, and this is really coming out well, the stamp artwork, so that you can see what it is. We have our stamp set. We're going to need that today, right? Let's see. There is, every kit that comes stamping has a block. This one comes with a block. You know what? They're very useful. Keep them in case you have a friend that needs a block for stamping. Some tear and tape. I love the tear and tape because it's very sticky. Oh my goodness, look, now they've got the fantastic, the larger dimensionals, got those in there. There's a bunch of envelopes, and when we look at it, there's some, you can barely see slight pattern on each one. So let's put those aside. We will be using some of those. There's the card bases, and there are two different colors, and the ephemera packs, and they are different based on what they are going as per the instructions. Oh, look, there's a couple of card bases. Oh, there's another color card base. What we're going to do is we are going to be working with our own. So there's a bunch of ephemera packs items here. We will be looking through them, and we're going to be using everything. Everything that came in this box will be used. So make sure you hold on to the box to put all these pieces back in. All right, let's get started. So we have our pieces of white, and they are two pieces, and they are 4x5 1/4. They're two pieces of basic white. Okay. I have my card base, and it's 5.5 by 11, and I'm going to score it at 4.5, or just right in half there. So it just becomes a regular card base for us. Okay. And this card will be landscape, which means it's the long way. What we're going to do, because I know I'm not going to be stamping really on this one, I can glue it on the inside. This one piece goes on the inside, so for that you can write your little message or whatever. Whenever I have a dark color card base, I usually place on a piece of basic white on the inside. If it's a light color like yellow or bubble bath or something like that, I will not do that, but I just do it for the darker colors. We're going to place that on the inside, easy peasy, okay? On the outside, we have our piece of basic white, and if we lay it on top, it is 4 inches by 5 1/4, and we can see that it has a nice edge all the way around, and I love cards that have a nice mat all the way around. I'm not going to leave it plain like this because you know what? I think we can step it up a little bit, and we're going to emboss it. I'm going to be using the Plaster Painting 3D embossing folder. Have you ever tried this one? Okay, I looked at it at first and I thought, wow, you know, that's just not me. Okay, I got to tell you, I was wrong. These embossing folders are to die for. So this one in particular, Plaster Painting 3D embossing folder, is fantastic. So we're going to take this and we're going to put it in the embossing folder and then run it through an embossing machine. So hopefully you have a good embossing machine. If not, put it on your wish list, and when a starter kit bonus comes along, which, you know, I might have an idea, you can add it to that. So we got our piece of paper, we got it in the embossing folder, and with the magic of camera, there it is in there. We can see the pattern. Oh, this is my favorite part, is lifting it up. Oh my goodness, like, can you see the pattern on that? It is phenomenal. I thought it would not look so nice, but I gotta tell you, I was absolutely wrong. It is beautiful. So I'm just gonna place that down. I am not wrapping a ribbon around, so I can glue this straight down. This is fantastic. Now, I wanted to show you something that I was thinking of. We can do this with the embossing folder just by itself, but I was thinking, remember those beautiful, beautiful envelopes that we have? There we go. The envelopes on the inside have this beautiful kind of pecan pie color. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to gently pull this apart. And if you look, a lot of the envelopes that they have are printed all the way through. So look at that. We got it. See that pattern? We can choose to use this one, which is an embossing folder, like that. Or we can cut this one. And where did our little note go? And cut that out. And we can cut this at 4 inches by 5 1/4 and make that instead. So you know what? I'm going to do them both, and you're going to help me determine which one to use. What you do is when you cut with the envelopes, you need to have a straight line. So all I'm going to do, remember I pulled it apart? I'm going to fold that flap down because I want a nice straight edge right there. Bring it up a little bit, and now I have a straight edge I need to work from. I'm just basically cutting it out, and then I will just double check. So there's a straight edge. Now I want to make it 4 inches. So there's the 4 inch. And I'm going to turn it to 5 1/4. See, there we go. Here we go. There we go. Fold that down. And voila. So what we could do is we could use this image instead. Okay. So we can place that on top and look at the pattern on that. I'm not going to glue these because you're going to help me decide which one we're going to do. I'm going to, we're going to assemble this card without gluing, and then you're going to help me decide. Okay. So we have these two different ideas. Okay. What I want to do is look through the ephemera pack for some items that I'm going to be adding to this card. Just place that right there. Okay. And in the ephemera packs, and I got to tell you, there were a lot to go through. So I'm looking for, where'd it go? Oh, look, there's a blue one now too. Okay. There is some little tags. I know you can't see it, but there's little tags. I want that. I need that for a sentiment. So let's set that aside. Okay. I'm looking. Oh, look, this one is vellum. Very careful. Check that out. This is going to look really good on a card that I have coming up. I love vellum. I think it looks really good. Some of these are just absolutely stunning to look at. I love these. What I'm looking for, you see this one? This one here is a sunflower and another sunflower. I want these two. I'm going to pop them out. See, they're just like that. They just pop out. So the two sunflowers, okay, got the two sunflowers. And on the same page, there is this pecan pie kind of tag with the little hole on top. I want that one too. So I'm going to take those 3 items. And I'm going to keep looking, and I'm looking for a butterfly. And I want this pecan, like look at the different butterflies that we have. I'm going to be using this brown butterfly here, this pecan color butterfly. Want that one? And I'm looking for one more item. Like look at these beautiful flowers. Beautiful. This is going to turn out great. In particular, I'm looking for a pool party. And it's just a pool party. I think these are bluebells, and I'm going to pop those out. So those are the ephemera items I need. So I'm going to go through those again. Let's set those aside. Okay. Get that. So we have our bluebells. There we go. You can see that. I'll lay these out. Our butterfly. 2 of the sunflowers. There we go. You can see them here. There we go. And this pecan pie tag. Okay, so those are the ephemera items that you're going to be popping out. Set those aside. What I want to do is I need to make, I'm not going to be using this one in particular. Oh, you know what? Let's just use it the way it is. Okay. I have the three items, and let's lay them on the card. So this is what it's going to look like if I use the embossing folder item. I'm going to take the pecan pie tag. I'm going to place that in the middle, just like that. I'm going to take the sunflowers and place one to the left and one to the right, just so that they just fit on. It's going to be barely any space in between. Okay, so there we go. Let's take a really good close look. There we go. Chilly, Montana. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I know the weather is absolutely bonkers out there. I'm telling you. Thank goodness it's sunny today. Okay. I'm going to take these bluebells, which are actually, I don't know, they're look more like Lost Lagoon. I'm going to just kind of place it on that one that is in the center. Okay. And I'm going to see there was a hole in that center one. I'm just going to turn it just so it covers that hole. That's all I'm going to do. Just cover that little hole there. Okay. And I'm going to place a butterfly going across. So now you can see what the card is going to look like. We still need to add a sentiment. But what I wanted to show you is, so we have this one with the embossing folder. You can see. Okay. Looks good. You're going to help me determine, do we use the embossing folder or are we going to use the envelope? Otherwise, I put that one on there and move that. Ooh, it's a tough choice. Oh my goodness, I think I like that. Or do we use the envelope piece for the background? Let me know in the comments which one you liked better. Okay, so are we going to be using the embossing folder or the envelope? I'm not sure which one. Okay, so as soon as we figure out, somebody comments, we will go with that and glue it down. In the meantime, we have some of these really great stamps that are with this. So you can tell that some of my stamps have already turned a little color. They turned a little pink. It's because of the ink that is being used. So that does happen. Don't worry about that. If your stamps change a little color, it just transfers. Okay, let's do with the envelope. We're going to go with the envelope. And so I'm just going to take this apart so you have an idea of how that goes together. So I'm going to glue my envelope on. Okay. And you'll notice that on the back side of my glue, my Tombow glue, because I don't know if you've ever come to my house, I've got a bucket of Tombow glue. And I never remember which one I used first, or which one is empty, which one is close. So what I decided to do is I put numbers on the bottom of my Tombow glue now. Now, number 3 represents the month that I opened my Tombow glue. So that's going to be the month of March is for 3. Let's place the envelope on top of the pecan pie. Set it on there. And I'm not going to glue these items straight down. I think I'm going to use the dimensionals. And I'm going to remember we had them 1, 2, 3. I can put them all with dimensionals, or I can do various heights. I can put these on glue and the rest in the center one on dimensionals. It is totally up to you. Let's place them all on dimensionals. What I'm going to do is set them aside. I'm going to start with the left and the right because it's easier doing that. So I'm going to start with the right. I'm just going to clear the space on the right, and I'm going to put one on the left. Okay. And it may be a little tight. I might have to shove one over or under. So I'm going to put it on the left, try and line it up. And this one fits. Oh my goodness, look, it fits almost exactly in. And oh, I'm going to put that one straight down. I'm going to glue it straight down. Okay. I like how those sunflowers popped up, and this piece will go down. And I'm going to kind of tuck that so it's in between those two. So you can see, just like that. Looking good, coming together. Very simple. These are very simple kits to put together. Right, we're going to get our little flower. I'm going to place it on dimensional because I want it kind of the same height as those sunflower ones. Again, I'm going to be covering that little hole. I don't want that to be seen. Just off to the side. So you can see it's coming together. Oh, these are just, I just love these. When I bought the kit, I spent the whole day making these, and by the end, I ended up with 16 cards. I was so excited. So excited. Oh my goodness, now I got dimensionals everywhere. Oh my goodness. Holy moly. Okay, let's put that off to the side. I'm going to take my butterfly, put some dimensionals on him, and I'm going to have him kind of flying across the card, kind of off there and over like that. There we go. All I need to do now is get my sentiment. I'm going to look in this. There's a large square sentiment tag if you want. You can use the large one, just like that. Or you can use the smaller one. It depends on which one you're going to use. So let's look. This one, if I say thank you, it'll be on the little one. If it says I appreciate you, it would be on the bigger one. I'm going to use the smaller one that says thank you. So I'm going to use the smaller tag. Okay, place that up there. Let's get our block. And I'm going to pop it on the block. Now you notice a lot, I do not put my stamps on the block square. It's always angled, always angled, just to force me to look through, because if I do it on the block and I follow the grid lines, it will be kind of off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ink it off with the pecan pie. So pecan pie, there is a spot that comes with it, so don't worry, you don't need the big one. And I'm just going to ink it up and stamp in the center. So if it's a little off, I can flip it over. And look how lovely that turned out. Woohoo! There we go. Turned out great. I love this color combination from this kit. I got to tell you, very, very happy. Very happy. And I can place this on here just like that. But I don't know. Have you been following me? I am absolutely in love with this gold ribbon. Okay, I need to add in this gold ribbon. I've got to add this gold ribbon into almost everything that I do. Okay. I just love this gold ribbon. Or you can add whatever ribbon you want. I don't know. I think this is one of the best things that Stampin' Up! Has ever come out with. I'm going to put a little bit of gold ribbon behind. And as you do that with dimensionals, you have to press, if it's with the ribbon, the gold weave ribbon, you have to press your dimensionals through the ribbon weave so it gets all sticky onto the paper. So just make sure you give it a really good press. Okay, there we go. Now I can pop that on there. Let's see if I can tuck it under the butterfly. And just like that. Our gold is a little smidgen long, so take a little bit off. My goodness. And there's our card. Absolutely stunning. You can barely see the gold ribbon. I'm telling you, the gold ribbon is a must-have. I gotta buy like more of it. This is one of the cards using the Heirlooms arrangement kit. So I'm telling you, I love this kit. I love this kit. You can still purchase the kit with me. You can drop me an email at northernstamper@gmail.com if you want, or you look on my online store and make sure you look for Tina Kavrgich. Double check the spelling of the last name. I know it's kind of tough, but there is an online store. If you put in demonstrator, look up Tina Kavrgich, or email me at Northern Stamper. It's not too late. This is the first card for using the Heirlooms arrangement kit. We're going to be doing, what was that, 15 more cards. So 4 more for Takeaway Tuesday, and the rest are in private video. I hope you enjoyed today's card. I am in love with it. They did a fantastic job. If you have any questions, please drop me an email at northernstamper@gmail.com. Comment below, and I'd be happy to hear from you. Anyways, I am off to play with some other crafting stuff for some ideas I've got coming up. I will see you next time, and don't forget to follow the Shapes Week that are on a private page. Lots of fun there. Take care.